Welcome back. I'm Kim Swanson, and we're here at Inside Casting and interviewing Tracy Winters, and she's interviewing me.
Let's go back to punctuality, because I have a lot of actor friends who are not respectful about the time factor. And I'm always saying you need to be on time. You need to be on early. If you're on time, you're late.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because you don't ever know what if the session's running ahead?
Right.
What if there's more copy than my agent or I knew about, and I didn't anticipate that?
Right. You know, I couldn't agree with you more, and that is a huge pet peeve of mine. And I will tell you, if an actor shows up late on set one time, I make a note in my own files, and the next time someone's interested, if they come in and audition again, I say, I'm just going to let you know they were late at the last shoot. I will tell them.
Yeah.
And directors and producers usually don't appreciate it. We had a situation recently where they really wanted a little girl who'd been late a couple of times, and her call time was 9, and we said, we're going to tell her call time's at 8:30. She got there at 8:59, which was the real call time. But if we hadn't fudged the call time, she would have been half an hour late. And she's notorious for that, to the point where now she's probably not going to continue working as consistently, because now that she's known as the kid who's always late. And they had a couple, and the second day of shooting, she was late again, and she missed the first couple shots altogether.
Oh.
So it's really not okay. And like you said, on time means you are early. And, you know, I come from very old school in the sense that we always did a practice run. And when you're in a town like LA or New York, and you're newer to the town, and you don't know where you're going, get in the car, ride the bus, whatever your mode of transportation is going to be tomorrow for that shoot, you go do a practice run today at the same time.
Right.
What's the traffic
Great
flow?
point.
Where are you going to park? How far do you have to schlep your brings with you?
Great point.
How much is that parking going to cost? Do you need change? Do you need dollar bills? Do you need, what do you, go find out today before you shoot tomorrow. Now, of course, we all know there's instances where you get a call at the last minute, and can you be on set? And there's nothing you can do about that, but you still get up an hour earlier. If you think you're supposed to be there at 10, plan on arriving by 9.
Right.
So that if you are running late, if you get stuck on the 405, if you get,
it's a freak accident.
right, you are still not late.
Yeah.
Because nothing stamps professional by your name more than showing up on time with your things ready and saying, I am here, where would you like for me to go first?
Exactly.
And, you know,
I'm ready to play. I'm
ready to play.
Here. Yeah.
And the little things you can do that kind of save the day. I've seen situations where actors who weren't necessarily told, okay, bring some khakis, bring this, bring that, you know, they have it in their car anyway.
Right.
And they get there, and the wardrobe person made an error, a mistake, or forgot, or the things don't fit, don't look right on you. And they say, well, those khakis look, you know, I have khakis in my car. You do? Bring them, you know, and you save the day, because now the wardrobe person doesn't have to stop, go do a quick purchase somewhere, and now everybody's on hold over khaki pants that you could have had in your car.
Right.
And producers love you for that, because you just save them a lot of money.
Right.
And when you're a union, you get that wardrobe fee too.
Well, yeah, and it's also, again, back to one of my pet peeves is actors love to complain. They love to complain about not getting the job, and then they get the job and they complain about that. And then the biggest thing they complain about is not having any control. So you do have control about being on time, and that's a great tip. You know, if you know you're a mommy on the shoot, why not bring your mommy clothes with you just in case?
Right. You know, one of my biggest, most interesting quotes I ever heard one time, one of my favorites, is argue for your limitations and they shall become yours. So when you're complaining, you're arguing, I don't get jobs because of my agent, you just created that. I don't get jobs because they don't like me, you just created that. So argue for your limitations, and you sure will make them happen, because you believe them. That's how you're going to...
And that's what you project, right?
Exactly.
That's that Eleanor Roosevelt quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Exactly. That's a good one, too. Yes, I love that one. Right.
Wow, that's terrific. What excites you about working with actors, and what frustrates you the most? Just kind of pick the top of both, if you could.
What excites me is that moment.
Yeah.
You know, and just like an actor, when you are in a scene and that moment, that one nice moment hits where everyone in the room feels what you're feeling. I love that. I get goosebumps just saying that.
Me too.
That is the absolute best when someone knocks it out of the park like that. They just find that one little word or that one little phrase, and they know how to really use it and draw you in.
Right.
And it's that connection. When they make that connection with their acting partner, or if it's just directly to camera, they make that connection with the person watching, that I love. I love, love, love
Yeah.
that. That excites me the
That's
most.
the magic, right?
That's the magic. And you
Right.
just, when I'm having castings in my office, we often say we're looking for that needle in the haystack.
Oh.
And when I find the person does it, there's my needle.
Oh,
So we have our
that's
needles,
great.
right?
That's
And I
great.
love that. It's just, you're like, yes, that moment that you see it, you know it, it's nailed, it's there,
Good,
it's
yeah.
theirs. And they own that moment. And there's something special about being able to own a moment,
Yes, there is. Isn't there?
So I love that. What frustrates me most, the most frustrating thing I think an actor can say is, my agent didn't tell me to. Your agent's not your babysitter.
Right. And you just threw your agent under the bus, by the way.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So an actor should never say, no one told me to bring my headshots. No one told me there were sides in advance. No one told me you preferred this memorized. No one told me to wear this. No one told. You need to ask those things.
Yes.
And if you don't have a chance to ask, assume all of those things. Assume you have a stack of headshots in hand at every moment.
Right.
Assume there are sides in advance, and so if you didn't get them, you arrive early. Assume that you should dress to suggest a role. Assume that they want you there early.
Right.
Assume. So treat every audition as if that is your job.
Yes.
I get frustrated when actors come in and they look schleppy and got their ripped up jeans,
Which is
no
kind of a
makeup
look
on,
now, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And they say, well, but they can picture me like this. I'm like, no, they can't. They really can't. So yeah, I know you like that look. That's great. It works for you, but it doesn't work for this person you're auditioning as.
Do you find that that's true both commercially and theatrically?
Yes.
Okay. Because a lot of actors are under the misimpression, I think, that it's only commercially that you need to go in really looking.
No, and you should
Suggesting. I mean, not costuming.
Right. And
but,
that's a good point you bring that up too, because so often they go overboard. We had a situation where a woman had an audition. She came in the audition, and then at the first audition realized she was auditioning as a nurse, and really gave a lovely read. It was a nice job, and they brought her in for a callback, and so she got the brilliant idea for callback she should wear scrubs, and it killed it for her.
Oh.
Because they said it was just, they felt a little too creepy and
much.
over the top, a little too much. Where she'd worn maybe just a plain light blue blouse or a simple, white sweater, something that was simple, and nurse-like,
Right.
but yet, it wasn't glammed up. But really lent herself to it without having to announce, I have to have on this costume to look like a nurse and to
Right.
make you believe I'm a nurse.
Right.
I think that's when you're better off.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all made that mistake.
Thanks for joining us on Inside Casting. We have a lot more to come next week, so we look forward to having you join us again.